everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your new moon reading and solar eclipse reading for October 2nd, 2024. And it happens to be this time in Libra. And basically, I don't know about you guys, but basically throughout the entire probably 2 weeks since the last full moon, the energies have been absolutely off the charts. I feel as though it's not only physically, but it's also just off the charts mentally, emotionally, and very draining. So this is going to be a very interesting solar eclipse. People might have headaches as well because there's so much information coming in from the solar energies, and we are getting an upgrade like no one's business. So at this time, it's a very potent time period. We're starting off October with a very high bit of energy with this solar eclipse, as well as the new moon, recognizing that being in Libra, it's balancing the scales, balancing our how we can balance and harmonize our relationships, our own work-life balance. But a lot of this is because of the aspects, the astrological aspects, we're going to be seeing quite a bit into relationships, and probably at least for the next 2 weeks. So in this case, what I would suggest, especially when it comes to relationships, is find that relationship with yourself. This is a very important time where we're changing so much, and we have this high energy at this time, so it's really going to affect us physically as well, but it's just going to get even that much greater throughout this month. And of course, with our energies changing, then everything around the world is also going to be changing too. Everything that happens on the inside, as within, so without. We're going to see this around us as well. So let's get into this reading. I've got 3 cards, and basically I've got my card deck, which is Take Back Your Power. Looking forward to reading from this on a more regular basis as it is. And we're also going into the Dreamweaver's Oracle by Colette Baron Reid as well. So we've got one in there too. So the first card that we have for the new moon reading, I've picked all the cards, but I haven't looked at them yet, is Truth. What is your truth? Truth is something that we have within us. We live by our truth for the most part. And if we do continue to live by our truth, then we see things falling in place for us. Abundance starts to come into our natural and more regular daily recognition. Because we are always abundant, but we sometimes don't recognize that. We sometimes don't recognize the confidence of being abundant. So truth is not only said with our expression, our verbal expression, but living in and honoring truth within us is what is being asked for at this time. Plus, this is about speaking too. So in the literal transition of this is about speaking your truth to others. And that's especially when it comes to the relationships. If you're able to speak your truth to another person, but doing it gently, if you have to critique in any situation, this is what's asked of you. What do you do when you're in communication with other people? Do you let your head get in the way and critique first and then compliment after? And that is a very common situation, or has been common in managerial or upper managerial statuses and corporations that I know of. I've been subjected to that as well. So, but first and foremost, the truth is coming out in so many ways. When you live by your truth, and more of us are living by our truths, we are sending that truth and the energy of truth into the world. And that brings about truth, excuse me, for everyone around you, everyone and everything. So that's why you're seeing the revealing of darkness that has existed for quite some time, that has been kind of hidden a little bit. And when I say a little bit, there's lots of people that have known about it, but they haven't really spoken very much for fear of, being called crazy or whatever the case may be. But the truths of things are coming out. And we are starting to recognize that anything that does come out into the world, and we have, some people might question it just because it's so, audacious. It's kind of crazy. But at the same time, it is the truth. Once you recognize that, once you realize that that is, oh, okay, just accepting what it is, no matter how outrageous it sounds, now you're starting to raise your vibration into this higher sense of truth. And as within, so without, we also see that what is around us also has a sense of influencing our thought patterns as well. And so we may also continue to live by truth. If that makes sense, it's a cyclical kind of situation. So I won't read from the guidebook on that one, but I wanted to just mention that truth is something that we're starting to live more and more by. And that's so classic for Libra. If you live by your truth, you are balanced in your understanding and in your wisdom, taking everything into yourself and recognizing that if you're honest about what you're doing in your life and honest to other people, excuse me, I still have this this cough. You're going to demand the respect from other people and having them live by truth as well. So this is a big part. I believe that this concept of truth is definitely coming out more and more, and becoming more on the top end of how we live as humanity and as a collective consciousness. And you could see that just because of everything that is being exposed, that's within the world, in the news, in the outer arena, but also it's forcing us to recognize what we know as truth within us, knowing that somewhere down the line in our generational and evolutionary status, we have lived a truth that was honorable, that was beautiful, that was right in line with our divine internal selves. And we are bringing that once more into this realm, into this understanding, into this life. So not to say that it's never, it was lost. There's a lot of us that do live by our truth, and that's basically our number one status of trying to be in a great relationship or in a good communication relationship with other people. Truth really is very important. If you live a dishonorable life, you can see the differences between someone who lives a dishonorable life, always telling lies, recognizing that there's, just kind of going beyond their means in their life, and opposed to the person who is actually living by their truth. No matter how humble they might be, they could live a very modest life, but at the same time living by truth brings you closer and closer to that divine connection of yourself. And this is what's being asked of us right now. We can see this. We've been seeing this for several years now, where truth has been bubbling up like anything. It's basically bubbling up by carbonation. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of truths kind of coming out at this time, and it's also forcing us to live by our truth. So let's go on to the next card. And we've got "For the wind that blows our sails." So this is a very beautiful card as well. And I will definitely read from the guidebook on this one too. But when we're looking at what guides us, for example, we're seeing that when we have support, when we've got, especially when it comes to spirit, so spirit is supporting us, we know this, and we're walking along our path where we have challenges like every person here has. We're here in learning, in lesson, And we have challenges, but we always recognize we have support. That's the wind beneath our wings that are kind of moving us forward in our lives and getting us to our destination, maybe with sometimes with effortless ease, and then other times where we need to learn something in particular, then there's a challenge. So I'm going to look into this, for the wind that blows the sails, and see what it says. And in the essential meaning, forward movement, coming out of a slow period, a time for action. So the other thing too is at this particular time, we're also feeling more in momentum, feeling more motivated to try and either connect with other people or connect with the resources, as well as complete projects that need to be done, or just kind of getting into the swing of things, maybe even trying something new and getting into our creative sides. So what this reads is, this is the time for action. Your obstacles have dissolved. You've integrated the deep work you've been doing, and you're on the other side of the dry spell. And we have been doing a lot of work, whether we want to or not. We've been doing a lot of work. So this is, again, a pat on the back for doing a lot of this work. How wonderful to now have the energy to take the next steps unencumbered by the past. And again, dealing with our past or past lives is something that we have been doing for probably very greatly since 2012, just because that was the shift to bring us into letting go of those sides of us that we don't need anymore, to deal with the fears or darker shadows that we have within us, so that we can let go of the karma that has followed us in our lives. This is a time of new beginnings, new moon, of the excitement that comes with seeing your dreams come to fruition after challenging work. And this really relates to me in a lot of ways too, because I finally finished this card deck. So you are, this is a time for successes. This is a time for recognizing that you are completing certain things in your life, including the more obscure events and communications, but relations with other people too. Others may call you lucky, but you know what work it took to get here. This time of expansion is not one to take lightly or for granted. Smooth sailing is not always offered to you, especially as you venture into uncharted territory, and boy, is that ever bang on for right now. Now the wind that blows your sails is steady, and you feel the hand of the divine next to yours on the wheel. That's the support you're getting. Stay in touch with that partnership. Stay awake and aware, as waves can rise up out of nowhere. Never put your back to a roiling ocean. Have confidence that you are sailing in the perfect direction for you toward a destiny that will flourish and go the distance. So this is wonderful, because it is actually saying, you know what, we are going to go through challenges. We're going through this together, but you are supported in whatever you're doing, and especially when it comes to this point where you can be you're riding the wave of success at this particular time, or you can be riding the wave of success if you choose to. This is also reminding you to remember about the synchronous events or synchronicity in your life. Recognize them. Be grateful for these synchronicities, so that as you move forward, or basically what it is doing is it's becoming the wind that moves you forward. So when you recognize the synchronicities, you are grateful for them, you send out the energy for wanting something to continue, or a particular outcome, for example, in a creative project or relationship, or in career, then you are assured that this will happen, because you are seeing the events that lead up to a success. And it's also taking action, little baby steps if you need to, in order to make something happen for you in your life. So it is lovely. I mean, coming out of a slow period, it's kind of in the last little while too, we've really had to deal and work for a lot of things. Like, I have to say, probably from the beginning of this year until now, there's a lot of things that we've probably had to really work at, whether it is for us to move forward in our consciousness, or it could be in a mental emotional situation to move past certain past life karma or past life events that have happened that have affected you emotionally. So there are a lot of things that we've done. So again, don't let that go by unnoticed, because pat yourself on the back, give yourself a celebration for doing that and becoming where you are right now. So it's important too. And that's also balancing the scales with the Libra energy, because we're able to say, okay, we've gone through challenging times, but we've also got successes. And now we might actually tip the scales a little bit with successes because of our support from the divine, the support from spirit, especially with the solar eclipse that is happening at this particular time. It is potent. The energies are absolutely off the charts potent. And because of it, if we could recognize that those energies are working for us, they're working to progress humanity in its consciousness evolution, then we can also say, hey, you know what? If there are challenges that come, what may, we can handle it. We can handle it together. We can also handle it within ourselves because we've come this far. So let's look at the last card and see what we get. So we're back to my deck, Innocence. So this one I will read for you because I think it is absolutely beautiful to remember what innocence is, and remembering that not all of us, I mean, when it comes to, this has a reflection upon our wisdom. Innocence happens basically from the get-go, from the moment we're born, and then we start to change. We start to gain more experiences, gain more, some knowledge, and tapping into that wisdom. And the wisdom is always there, but we don't always tap into it. And that said, as a child, we're very open to unique experiences, to the uncharted territory, because we haven't learned that much yet. But we kind of lose it because we get jaded over the time period, right? We lose it. We lose that innocence, that oh my goodness, that this is new. We're going into uncharted territory right now because of all the downloads that's going on. So now's the time that we can embrace innocence, because we don't know where we're going. We're just trying to, get ourselves, kind of make do with where we're going because we really don't know what's on the doorstep. So let's have a look at innocence. Innocence is a state where everything is seen in wonder and beauty, as if experienced for the first time. It is the element from which the soul originates, where every experience is seen as divinely orchestrated with purpose. Every circumstance is what it is, existing for our learning purposes. We see each situation as a new encounter, where the experience is happening for us and not to us. As we notice synchronicities in the experiences we have, we become closer to the view of our higher selves. We begin to have empathy for others, share compassion, and live being heart-centered rather than being too analytical and in our heads. Innocence allows divine energy to flow freely. We live in the present moment, viewing each experience as an opportunity to find its meaning in our lives. It is as though we've never encountered the situation before and look upon it with fresh eyes to resolve a problem, make decisions, or simply be in joy at its occurrence. We say that innocence is lost when trauma or victimization occurs in our lives, as certain experiences can be very difficult, resulting in overwhelming emotional energy. Yet, no matter how challenging the experience, the soul still views it as a lesson or a test. It is what one does about the circumstance, or what perspective or reaction one takes, that defines the retention of innocence. If lower emotional energies are allowed to accumulate or remain, we may feel lost, worthless, or maintain a victim mentality from blocked energy that affects our lives. However, should the lesson given be learned and a realization of transformation and gratitude occur, the innocence of pure divine energy flows freely once again. Maintain the flow of pure divine energy while experiencing lessons in your lifetime, knowing that everything is happening for a purpose. Allow your heart to guide you through any difficulties and view each circumstance you encounter as a new opportunity for learning. See the synchronicities in every experience and the magic that occurs when you view everything from a higher perspective. Remain in a state of innocence, as you will always be divinely supported on your journey. That's right in line with even just for the wind that blows the sails. We're definitely being supported at this time, more so than ever before. An affirmation that goes with this that you can use on a daily basis to remind you that you are supported and that you can take that new soul look at everything around you. I choose to remain in innocence so that the divine flow of energy that allows for an enriching life can be maintained. I know that I know that every learning experience is happening for me and not to me, so that I can determine the outcome of the life lesson and see the synchronicities that offer purpose on my journey. I love this because it's basically guiding you to recognize that you are we're walking into this newness. And as part of the new moon, we can start a new cycle with a totally different point of view. We can see things from a higher point of view. And I believe that the solar eclipse that is happening, and I believe it's in South America, actually, that they're going to see it more closer to South America and the Pacific, that they're going to be, the energy from that is amplified so greatly right now that we can and will see how everything that is about to occur, whether it's within, like in the world within us, we're going to be able to understand that it is happening for us, not to us. Like that part is recognizing the victimization that we could fall into a cycle of is not where we should be putting our heads. We should actually be following our hearts, and that's where the energy is leading us. It's coming in the light codes that are coming in, the energy that is changing us at a DNA and cellular level, our ways of thinking. We are moving forward in our evolutionary process, and yeah, it's going to be a doozy. I have to say that even though we're moving forward in our consciousness, then we definitely have a forward, we've got a little bit of work to do when it comes to staying together, being in oneness. The world is going to try, or those that are in the world will try to push us to the limits. I'm just going to say that much. But basically, be prepared for almost anything to happen. And try to view it with innocence. Yes, it'll be brand new, thinking, whoa, wait a second, where is this coming from? But we can handle this because if we delve within us and recognize in our DNA, we hold the wisdom that we've had for the ages that we've lived here, or that we've incarnated. We can find the answers within us. We can find a way to move forward with effortless ease. We can work together with other people. So in our relationships with others, just be mindful as well that sometimes if we have an emotional overload within ourselves, sometimes we could be a little irritable. And if that's the case, just watch what you say or think before you speak. Take a breath before you speak to others, and or recognize that maybe the energy that you have, or the emotional upset or annoying things that you're feeling, could very well just be from energies that are coming through you, things that you are processing at this time, and let it go. Because this is definitely not something worth getting into a scuffle over, or getting into a butting head situation with somebody else over. That's on the heightened side of where what the new moon and the solar eclipses, and even the full moon and lunar eclipses can do. But just know that this is also on a flip side, where you could be meeting new people. You could be forming alliances and forming romantic relationships, or even a wonderful situation so that you find somebody new to help you along your way in your business. So there's relationships are big, but just look at it from an outer point of view and an upper point of view, recognizing that it is what makes us who we are, is our relationships with other people. That's pretty much why we are here. Why it is that we learn what we are is because of the fact that we're interacting with other people, and other people are what kind of forms our experiences, right? So keeping that in mind, just recapping what we were looking at. The first one was truth. So knowing the truth within us, and knowing that the truth is being revealed everywhere in the world. If we live by our truth, we are living closer to the divineness of us. That we are also going into the next card for the wind that blows our sails. This part is also from the support of spirit. So you live by your truth. You are a divine being, and this is also supported by spirit. So you are in a stage of success at this time as well. So that's what that's talking about, and motivated to at least to achieve a conclusion. And you know that on the inside you can go within to find the truth or to make a decision should you need to. So the last card, innocence. We are also going into some uncharted territory. Things are going to be shifting. Things are new to us. We also have the opportunity to see a new cycle that we can see from a higher perspective. And when you take the eyes of innocence and you bring them in by seeing things from a higher perspective, you can make more harmony around you, harmony within you. And it also brings it all together and allows you to live by your truth. So I hope this helps. I hope that you have a wonderful new moon in Libra with a solar eclipse. And if you are in South America or in the Pacific, then please go out there if you're able and check out the solar eclipse. It's an annular eclipse, so a ring basically. So it is very potent. It's making this new moon time period very potent for its energies. And so ride the wave. That's all I can say. Ride the wave of this incredible time period. And what an incredible time to be alive, for sure. To see all of these celestial events, to see and feel the newness at the moment too. We also have a second mini moon, as they're calling it. Check that up, by the way, if you don't know about that. We're able to see a second celestial body that's near our moon, and it's basically potent as well. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen that before, right? So there's a lot of new things, a lot of potentialities for seeing the innocence within us. So in any case, I will leave you with that. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, like this video if you haven't as well, and check out my free newsletter from my website. Go and sign up for that, because I do send out a new or a channeled message as well as a card reading every week to help you along that week. And you can get that from takebackyourpower.live. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.